It was not to be permitted. That honor, that extraordinary moment was to be reserved and was planned a decade before. And we can prove it in Kennedy's own speech that night in 1961, when before a joint session of the House and Senate, he laid out the vision of Apollo. Kennedy knew then, and we can prove it, that the site for the Apollo landing was going to be a tranquility on the eastern edge of tranquility, the Sea of Tranquility on the moon, at 23 degrees west and 0 degrees latitude.
How could he have known then?
Ah, isn't this interesting?
He was just setting a goal, a political goal.
Precisely. How could he have known? And we can prove, and we will prove he did know.
Prove it.
Not tonight. We'll do that in a week.
Oh, Richard.
But I will lay this out, all right? That July 20th date turns out to be important, critically important, because you see that date is connected to Osiris and Orion. The Central Egyptian religious cosmology centers on this figure of Osiris. Osiris is he's the big guy, all right? He is the god of reincarnation, of resurrection, of coming back again and again and again, of return, all right? He is the central figure around which the entire Egyptian pantheon of gods and goddesses, everything from Isis to Bastet to Set to Nephthys to Nut to Geb, all these other personages orbit around Osiris. July 20th, he and his twin sister Isis, which is Sirius, the brightest star in the sky,
yes,
the most important star in the Egyptian calendar because it marked when it returned after 70 days behind the sun.
Yes.
It marked the flood of the Nile, roughly 3200 BC. That moment of rising in the dawn, the helical rising of the duality of Osiris and Isis, was called the helical return. That flash of brilliant starlight before the sun overwhelmed it in the dawn skies over ancient Egypt.
Yes.
That date, July 20th, Art, was the date of Isis' helical return.
Huh.
They landed on the moon, on the one date on the moon that commemorated Osiris over the pyramids at Giza.